Mr. Hill, are you able to hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, looks like we've got everybody connected, so we'll go on the record now. This is People versus Thomas Hill. This is file number 2452287. The record should reflect that Mr. Hill is present today by video from Crawford County Jail. If I can get counsel's appearance, please.
Thank you, Your Honor. Richard Trush appearing on behalf of Mr. Hill. I had an opportunity to speak to him prior to the arraignment here today. We would waive a formal reading of the allegations, stand mute to those charges. He's been screened and approved for counsel. I think Mr. Mertz is representing him on the other matters. He'll be appointed on this as well. And we would request that a hearing be set on this. We'd like to address some bond issues to the court.
Okay. Mr. Hill, is that correct? Have you had a chance to go through all of that with Mr. Trush?
Yes, for the most part.
Okay. So the court is going to enter a not guilty plea on your behalf, Mr. Hill, with regard to all the alleged violations. The court will set this for a hearing. Mr. McFelda, on behalf of the probation department, do you have any recommendations regarding bond pending that hearing?
Judge, I know I'm sure you're aware. I know you're aware that he just was arraigned last week on prior violation. Bond was set at 10,000 cash surety, and less than a week after getting out of jail over the weekend, these alleged violations took place. I would ask for his bond to be revoked, Judge. And if that's not the case, then I would ask for a high cash surety bond.
All right, thank you, Mr. Trush.
Thank you, Your Honor. He was just prior to this arraigned on essentially the same allegations as new charges in front of Judge Burmeister. He reported to me that Judge Burmeister set a 10,000 cash or surety bond for him in that. I would suggest to the court, I think the court's probably aware from the prior arraignment. Mr. Hill has had a rough go of it lately. He lost a young child, and that's really he's having difficulty coping with that. I think a cash bond here likely is appropriate. I have discussed with him, and I'm hopeful that he might be able to set up some treatment options because he really needs to address the issues that are plaguing him right now. So I would ask court to set a cash bond. In candor to the court, he does not expect he can post the bond that Judge Burmeister set. So the amount, I think, is probably somewhat academic.
All right, and Mr. McFeld, I mean, I do remember the arraignment last week. Was that on this same file, and this is additional conduct, or was that on a different file?
That's correct, Judge. Same file.
Okay, so this conduct is a violation of the bond the court set last week.
Yes, Judge.
All right, so I'm certainly aware of Mr. Hill's circumstances. They are unfortunate, no question about that. However, the court did grant a bond last week, even though Mr. McFeld asked for the court to revoke the bond. Well, Mr. Hill without bond, the court did grant bond, and we're less than a week later, or about a week later, I guess, with additional criminal conduct that involves assaultive conduct. I think all things considered here, given the underlying charge, given that bond was granted on previous violations in this file last week, Mr. Hill immediately almost violated that bond by allegedly consuming alcohol and engaging in assaultive conduct both towards private individuals and law enforcement. I think all of that together leads the court to find that Mr. Hill is a danger to himself and to the general public given his circumstances and his actions over the past week. And the court finds it's not only in the interest of public safety, but it's likely in his own interest to revoke bond that it previously set and to order that Mr. Hill be held without bond. Because of that, Mr. Trush, and unless Mr. Hill decides to waive that hearing, the court will set it for hearing within 14 days as required under statute.
I think he's set for another hearing, for the other violation hearing, maybe on the 3rd of March or 4th of March, maybe.
6.
Judge, he said
Um,
on March 6th for a PVH.
Okay,
Mr. Hill, are you comfortable having both of those hearings set at the same time?
I don't know if I am or not. To tell you the truth, I think I should talk to the attorney that's going to be on the case. I think that would probably be better.
Okay. So I would
Okay,
ask the
go
court,
from there.
I would ask the court then to set it within the 14 days.
yeah, okay, so the court will set it for hearing within 14 days. Mr. Trush, if you could just notify Mr. Gurmurthy that, you know, if he talks to Mr. Hill and they decide to waive that, to notify the court so we can take that down.
Certainly. Thank you.
All right, Mr. McFall, anything else that we need to address from your side today?
No, Judge, thanks.
Okay. All right, thank you. That's all for this hearing, and all parties are free